Lockdowns may have caused more deaths than coronavirus 19 itself. Wow. Hi, I'm Dave from Informed American, talking to you about this explosive claim coming from JP Morgan analyst Marko Kolanovic. There's a post there he wrote to his subscribers. He's a data analyst, and I'm just going to read some of these quotes here of him coming out making this really explosive claim, saying that the data favors further reopening. And here he's mocking what he calls the flawed scientific papers, which have predicted several million virus deaths in the West, which just have not materialized. So, and also before I run through more of this, I got this live chat open here for you to react to all this stuff we're talking about, have a conversation here. Let's continue. Kolanovic says that the recent studies indicate that full lockdown policies in some European countries did not produce any change in pandemic parameters such as growth rates and infection rates, and hence might not have yielded additional benefits versus less restrictive social distancing measures. And like the example that the most common one I think would be Sweden, where they did not lock down the country. And yeah, they've had their death rate is slightly higher than, say, the United States, but it's not much. It's not crazily higher. It's not like everyone's dying in the streets in Sweden because they didn't lock down the country. And he's got a couple of charts here that basically show you've got the countries after they reopened, the infection rates in fact dropped lower than the baseline. So that's part of the data that he's using to make that claim. And it's essentially saying, as we heard about, Florida beaches reopening, Georgia reopening, and, people predicting blood in the streets for this stuff, and it just isn't happening. And in fact, the death rate in Georgia has been going down and down and down, and they've been open for 3-4 weeks, and it's not really impacting infection rates. That's what people were terrified of. We start opening the economy back up again, and everyone's going to get sick, and everyone's going to die, and we're going to have to close this thing down again. We talked about that here, and that just hasn't happened. Kolanovic continues. The fact that reopening did not change the course of the pandemic is consistent with mentioned studies showing that initiation of full lockdowns did not alter the course of the pandemic either. The virus dynamics are perhaps driven by the elimination of the most effective spreaders, the impact on the most vulnerable populations, such as in nursing homes. That is, if you're not in New York, where the governor mandated that the nursing homes take in patients who are recovering from coronavirus, which of course spread like wildfire and killed over 5,000 people in nursing homes. Just absolutely awful. But he continues here. Common sense measures unrelated to full lockdown, such as washing your hands and weather patterns, and of course social distancing. Now, of course, this is in hindsight a little bit, because in the beginning, we didn't really know what was going to happen. So we did the lockdown, and this thing is evolving, and as our knowledge is coming, even this thing about like touching surfaces. I probably said here, I was really worried about, what do I touch? It's going to get me. And it's really not about that. If you just wash your hands, you're probably going to be okay. You don't have to Lysol everything that comes into your house, which is actually something I did. So, but as we learn, as we evolve, we adapt. And he continues, however, at the same time, millions of livelihoods were being destroyed by these lockdowns. Unlike rigorous testing of potential new drugs, lockdowns were administered with little consideration that they might not only cause economic devastation, but potentially more deaths than COVID-19 itself. Wow. So we're sitting here. Let's take a look at the United States. There's about 92,000 dead from COVID-19, the coronavirus. What are we saying? As we're saying, maybe the economic impact, the fact that we shut down the economy, causes despair, addiction, disease, and suicides. People lose their jobs. They get depressed. They don't function. They don't function well. They become addicted to something, and then their trajectory of life just tanks essentially. So it really would be interesting and very sad if sometime, a couple of years down the road, some study can say, after we shut down the economy, look what it did. Look what it did. The health outcome of locking the economy down may have potentially have caused more deaths than COVID-19 itself. Unbelievable. Love to know what you guys think about this. I'll post a couple of these charts that I mentioned here in the chat. Love to know what you think about this. Is it possible? Do you think the lockdowns could potentially kill more people than coronavirus? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.